have our ex-chairman NIRC, Saran Agarwal ji. Welcome, Sasan ji. Friends, as you know that most of us has received the bank audit letters, and some of them are still in process of receiving the bank audit letters. But as you know very well that due to the volume of work, the volume of the data involved in these bank audits, and the software technicalities involved, it's not so easy for anyone or any expert or auditor to do audits in such a field, either manually or either through a simple technique or tools. One has to be a little working knowledge, you may call not little, it's a good working knowledge about Excel sheet, so that you can analyze the data, you can analyze the software. And apart from that, there are so many risks that you also need to be considered, and you should also find out the ways how to resolve those things or how to mitigate the risk of those while doing the audits and all. So yeah, what I consider throughout my experience that Excel is one of the best tool we have through which we can analyze the data and all. And for that, we have a very good expert speaker, and who is also known as an Excel Saran in South, right? And we have so many videos in YouTube and all. If you can see different webinars in our southern area, especially, that he is explaining so well in bank audit, and we are very fortunate enough that he has considered our request and accepted for joining us. Thank you so much, Saranji, to accepting our request. And Saranji, before moving further, before starting our deliberation, we would like to request our founder convener, Dr. Shri Durgadas Agarwal ji, आप कुछ सब बोले सर और प्रोग्राम की एक रूपरेखा तय करें. Over to you.
Thank you, Sandeep. सरन जी तो डिसअपियर हो गए अभी तो.
I think.
Mr. Saran, you are listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You know little bit Hindi?
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
Very good. Because we are sitting in the North India, so public prefer, but Excel तो English ही होता है. I am remembering के भाई in the month of March, day before 90s, 15 मार्च से ही बैंकों में इन दी बैंक्स एक दो स्टाफ को डेप्यूट कर दिया जाता था कि सारे सब्सिडरी लेजर्स को मिलान करो, फलाना करो, ये करो, वो करो. एक बंदा जो हाथ से कार्बन लगा के सारे एडवांसेस की लिस्ट, ये लिस्ट, सारी चीजें वो चालू हो जाते थे. और अपॉइंटमेंट भी 10, 15, 20 मार्च तक आ जाते थे. मैं समझता हूँ एज ऑन टुडे मेरे पास आई हैव नो इंफॉर्मेशन बैंक अलॉटमेंट लेटर हैज बीन arrived to the concerned auditors. I don't think, but as a study circle we have to organize whomsoever received this audit or not. So we hold this seminar for understanding the current scenario of bank audits and how to give our best by using Excel. So for this purpose Mr. G. Saran is with us. संदीप आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, सरन जी का बायोडेटा आया हुआ है, थोड़ा प्रोफाइल थोड़ा सा और एलेबोरेट करें. और ये एक नई चीज आपने बताई है कि ही इज जस्ट इलेक्टेड इन द SIRC का हैदराबाद ब्रांच के एक ब्रांच में इलेक्ट हुए हैं. तो आई होप कंस्टिट्यूशन ऑफ द ऑफिस बियरर्स अभी हुआ कि नहीं, आई डोंट नो. आई विश कि भाई एक अच्छी पोस्ट मिले जब इतने हम ये सरन एक्सेल के नाम से मशहूर है. तो वेरी वार्म वेलकम मिस्टर सरन.
Thank you so much.
थैंक यू संदीप, आप बहुत पेन लेते हैं. हमने तो ये करीब 25 years बैक हमने स्टार्टेड दिस स्टडी सर्किल. तो अब तो टॉर्च बियरर का काम ये कर रहे हैं हमारे संदीप जी. तो आपका भी स्वागत है. और शशांक अग्रवाल पास्ट चेयरमैन 2021, हाँ 2021, तो उनका भी स्वागत है. और पार्टिसिपेंट्स अभी 45 जुड़े हैं, उनका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. ओवर टू संदीप, प्लीज कैरी ऑन फॉर द प्रोसेस.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for your wishes. Now we have our ex-chairman NIRC, Sasanji. Sasanji, I would like to request you to please say a few words, right?
Thank you, Sandeep Bhaiya. A very warm welcome to Saran Kumarji in our East Delhi Study Circle. And as Dugadas Agrawalji has already discussed with us that earlier it was a 15 days task, and still the reconciliation was difficult. And today, all the documentation is provided by the bank, but we still not have the time to read all the papers, what they are giving us, and we are signing those. Is it correct, Saranji? Is it happening?
Absolutely.
So, like as the members are joined here, the wholehearted welcome to all the members. And I really like to share some experiences which I have felt in last few years, and I believe Saranji will help us in those areas also, how IT and how Excel is actually helped in those sectors. So the first of all, the documentation provided by the bank. Ultimately, we have a checklist. We surely know that what document we have to sign. So it is a humble request. Kindly relate the balance sheet P&L with all the documentations available. Because sometimes happen, you are finding those figures in the bank in the balance sheet, but you are not writing anything in the forms which are available with you. So kindly take precautions for that, because it is again we cannot say that they are giving a very less time to us. They are not justifying with us. We should do less work, because that is not a justification. We have to thoroughly work with our whatever the task has been given to us, and definitely just a one sheet which I really find important, that is a loans and advances sheet. If you talk about loans and advances, you get almost 200 300 pages a ledger, you can say, in a page form, which you sign without like seriously without seeing any of the entry of that ledger, because you always find, please give me the summary of these advances. So like I'm having a no doubt that Saranji will definitely teach us today that how to convert that text file into the Excel, so that it will really help us to analyze and create a good documentation with us as well, that how and what was the materialistic aspect, how we have reviewed each and every aspect of the banking loans and advances, because government also wants that you should specially emphasize over that. So Baki aaj, like today we have a Saranji, so he will definitely cover all the aspects, because Sandeep ji has already given the very great remarks about Saranji, and we are all excited to hear Saranji here, and all the best. And again, congratulations, Saranji, for coming in the committee. I hope the Hyderabad will definitely rise this year and in coming 2 years. And congratulations. And Sandeep ji, please, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sasanji. Thanks a lot. Before requesting Saranji to continue further, I would like to read about their little profile. Saranji is a very known person in southern part of India, and I think northern part of India is also going to know. Saranji has qualified in 2010, and he is currently a managing partner in T. Satyanarayana and Company. He has also worked with companies like Microsoft and Credit Suisse. Apart from CA, he has also done Disha and have certification in concurrent audit and forensics. And he is a very keen in not only audits, but data analytics and all, right? And a very one of the experts in Excel, IDEA, or Power Query. He's one of the regular faculty with ICAI on forensics, accounting, and all. So this is a little brief profile about Saranji. But today we are all going to know many more things about Saranji. So without taking much time, I would like to request Saranji, please start your deliberation. Over to you, Saranji. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you so much, Sandeep sir, for the great introduction. And let me thank Durgadas sir, because you are the man behind this entire CPE study circle. And even at your busy schedule, you have taken time and given your remarks. And looking like very young, but surprisingly, he is the ex-chairman of AARC, NIRC, if I'm not wrong, Shashank. Great to know that. Um, Great to know that. And Sandeep sir, I think I connected to Sandeep Sharma ji through the YouTube. I think he was
Yeah,
watching some of the video
yeah,
from where he has taken up my number. And
yeah,
when he called me, I was at the peak election. Okay, at Hyderabad, we are having a 10,000 voters.
yeah,
Catching up them and getting for the voting center is very difficult.
yeah,
So generally, for the last 5 years, my schedule is March 1st till March 31st, every day occupied with bank audit seminar at one or other place. I think this is the first year where, since the election got postponed in the month of February, and the election they made it on March 20th, because of the election code, I should not go anywhere. This is my second session. But just to put on the note, I got a second highest in the history of Hyderabad branch majority, where quota was 223 and I got 357.
Great, great.
It is about, it's not that I'm super in that, but people recognized the contribution which I have contributed for the last couple of years through the seminars, through knowledge sharing and so on. And they have given me the great majority. So my responsibility is more now. In fact, one of my friend asked me on that day, 21st, when we got the result on the evening, Sharon, you got the second highest in the history. So what you are going to do now? Nothing. On 23rd, I'm having a seminar, and 24th, I'm going to Trivandrum. 25th, I'll be having a session at Calicut, and 26th at Delhi, 27th, Ahmedabad. Tomorrow, I'll be going to Ahmedabad. So, see, it's not about whether we occupied a position or not. The work has to go on.
yeah,
It is just the position at the MC. Okay, if we get a position, we'll work from the institute. If we don't get any position, we'll do the same work from the outside. That is what
correct.
the answer I have given. In fact, there is a lot of discussion going on about the positions. I said till 29th, I'll be busy with the bank audits. I cannot come and discuss anything. Okay, just for on the lighter note, since everyone is part of institute. First of all, thank you so much, Sandeep sir, for the great opportunity. Uh, Today, next 2 hours, 45 minutes, I'm going to present the bank audit, but not more of theoretical part of it,
Yeah,
but more of practical aspects, because I'm sure members are looking for the same. Okay, so let me, without taking much time, let me share my presentation. Generally, my presentations may not have so many slides, like 30, 40 slides. In fact, I hate it because my presentation is always more of having two slides. One is a title slide, the other one is thank you slide. In between, everything is Excel. Okay, so today I cut short my presentation. I'm directly taking you to the Excel and practical demonstration. This is what the roadmap for today's session. I'm going to talk about new LFR and little introduction to the core banking and unstructured data, how to convert into the structured data. Especially Shashank ji was talking about conversion of text files into the Excel files. That is what very important aspect. And once you convert it, what is the way? How many different ways you can get the stratification out of it? And is there any way we can identify the NPA? And if you get the ledger account, what is the method you can do the analysis from the ledger account? And I feel out of the all auditing standards, the very important auditing standard is the working paper. Though we do the entire work, we are not sure how to keep our working papers properly. And also the sampling and reporting. That is what we are going to see. This is just the first slide I always try to present every time at the time of bank audit. The mindset of the auditors is exactly this. In the month of February, every chartered accountant plans that and have a aim that this season I want to do the best bank audit. That is what the mindset. So to achieve that, they compile a lot of information. Okay, These days, whatever which comes into the WhatsApp, the first thing what we do is we'll download. The second thing what we do is we'll have a long press and we'll forward to all our friends. The third thing what we do, we keep our phone silent and we keep aside. Instead, we reading, we forward to everyone. Okay, so we compile a lot of information, but we don't organize it properly and we don't read it. And I think bank audit is one season where all the CPE study circles and bank branches filled with a lot of registrations, because this is the season. So most of the chartered accountant attend so many seminars to gain the knowledge. Then in the month of first week of April, they step into the bank. Once they step into the bank, I don't know what happened for 3 to 5 days. Again, the day comes on the signature date. So somehow on the last date, they sign the report and they realized that they did nothing again like last year. So before leaving the bank, what they thought, at least next year I want to do the best bank audit. Unfortunately, this chain is just going on every year. But this chain, let us all do the best bank audit at least this year. So what you are learning, you need to apply once you go to the branch. I don't know, branch is like a place where they hypnotize too much. So what we learn, everything, we forget once we go to the branch, and we fall into the trap of branch managers and regional offices and JEDVO zonal office, and finally we sign the document without having a proper working. Okay, so let's go to this is another slide. I like it. In fact, I present everywhere, wherever I go for a forensic audit seminar or even bank audit seminar. If I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I did spend first 4 hours sharpening the axe. I feel this is a proper relevant slide, very much relevant for our bank audit also. Many people think that the bank audit starts when they step into the branch. But if you ask me, the bank audit starts from on the day once you get the branches in your email as an appointment. From the next day, you can approach them, you can get the data and so on. Once I start talking about the files and so on, I'm sure many questions will flow into the chat box. Saran sir, what is the way to get the data? Many banks and branch managers are not at all sharing the data, for which my answer is very simple. Getting the data from the branch is not at all a science, it is a simple art. You have to manage yourself. Whether you convince, whether you tell a different method, or you use a different negotiable technique, but whatever the case it is, you should get the data, because without getting the data, completing the bank audit is almost impossible. Looking into the manual files, I'll give you one technique which I follow. Whenever I get the mail about allocation of the branches, I call to the branch manager. I tell them, sir, I want these, all these files. The first thing the branch manager tell me that, Mr. Saran, we should not share the information through the emails. Once you come to the branch, then you can do the audit. Then immediately what I tell to the manager, sir, if I come to the branch, until unless I do the proper audit, I'll not leave. So I may not complete in 3-4 days. I'll be taking definitely 10 to 15 days. But if you can share the information, I may not even take 1 day. So you better share the information. Within 1 day, I'll leave your branch. Then considering that as a attraction, he will immediately share the data. Then once you do the entire homework, 1 day is more than sufficient to do the entire audit, because from you can have a control of the entire branch within 2 hours. You will get to know within 2 hours what accounts you need to focus, what type of products you need to focus, who are the group customers you need to focus, and so on. So my entire session is more of taking the data into the Excel and working on. Okay, let's go. This is our the CBS environment. I'm sure everyone aware of it. So application server you will be having where staff and users enters the data. once you log in into the net banking, you enter the data. That is what the application server we call. Database server, whatever the data staff or user or the customer enters, that gets stored at the backend. But as a chartered accountant or an auditor, you will not have an access to the database server, because that is what the core data which stores. But for which you will be having an access, that is for the reporting server. So every CBS is having a reporting server, because they may need to prepare the reports either for the regulators called RBI, or for the other stakeholders, or for the management, or for the auditors. They make pre-standard reports. So we as a chartered accountant need to get the access to those reports. After the session, I'll be sharing for the Finacle, for the Banks 24, and for the FlexiCube, all the related reports which are required. Since the time is very limited, I'll be going into the Excel and working on. Okay, these all are the major CBS, as you all know. The first thing, okay, as Shashankji told, you need to more focus towards about getting the advances files. Basically, you will be having two types of files in the advances. One file which is based on, you know, advances in the nature of term loans, okay, where the payment is installments. The second file is the CCOD in the nature. In some of the cases, even the demand deposits and everything, they'll make it as a different files. I request you first get all those files and consolidate the net outstanding balance as on 31st March 2022. Make sure that the values what you are getting matching with the balance sheet advances. That is what the first exercise I want you should do. Okay, so large advances calculation. But before going me into this, let me go and open the recent LFR, the latest LFR, which they introduced in last year of 2021. Maybe if you can look into that, you will get to know the entire scope of the bank branch statutory auditor. I'll not take much time. Maybe I'll just take 2 minutes so that you can understand what exactly the scope of branch auditor. If you ask me, this is what the coverage and scope. The overall objective of the branch audit should be to have the transaction testing and provide inputs to the statutory central auditors on adequacy of implementation of various policy and regulatory requirements, including the efficacy of the system and assurance functions at the branch level. This is what the clear scope they defined. So what you need to do? You need to do the transaction testing, and you should comment upon the implementation of various policy and regulatory requirements. Okay. And if you go a little down, they have given the entire LFR format. Let us go into the advances. My focus is more towards the advances. If you look into this advances first line, the general instruction, you will get to know how you need to plan for your audit. The answers for the following questions may be based on the auditor's examination of all large advances. What do you mean by large advances? For this purpose, large advances are those in respect of which the outstanding amount is in excess of 10% of outstanding aggregate of fund-based and non-fund-based, or 10 crore, whichever is less. What is the meaning of it? You add all your advances into 10%, you apply a simple minimum function, MIN, okay? The 10% of the total advances, comma, 10 crore. Whatever the value which you will get it, above than that, everything is considered as a large advance. Let's say you identified some 10 items are the large advances. What you need to do, for all the accounts above the threshold, the transaction audit or account specific details to be seen and commented. The meaning, you cannot escape an account which is the large advance. Let's say you are doing an audit of 50 crore portfolio. That means 5 crore is the large advance. 5 crore or 10 crore, whichever is lower, 5 crore. There are 3 accounts which are above the 5 crore. That means you can't take a sampling into that. All the accounts you should do the transaction audit. That means the entire life cycle of the loan you should check it out. Okay. in case of below the threshold, what we need to do, the process needs to be checked and commented upon. What is the meaning of process? At many places at the bottom, they ask the questions. You can take the sampling for those questions and you should work upon. So what type of Excel features and functions to be used, your LFR will tell. Okay, this is what the place it started with. Now in this case, first of all, how to calculate the large advance. Then even before calculating this as a large advance, what I am going to do, first let me take you to the files. Friends, I think this is a very closed circle meeting. Some of the files I directly open, which I used for the banks as we enter the agreement with the bankers every time, NDA, but just for the benefit of the members, I'm opening the files. Whenever you find something real information, I request you please ignore it and forget it. Okay, so what I'll be doing now, I will just take a couple of files called loan balance files and CCOD files. Now what I'll be doing, I will take these three accounts. Everyone please have a look. I will just copy these files. I will put into the folder so that first we can understand how we can do the text to column. Okay. Now I'm just opening the file called loan balance file. As I already mentioned, loan balance file is the one having all the advances in the nature of installment payment. Generally in the loan balance file, what you can find the account number, account type, customer number, customer name. See, while reading the file itself, your mind should automatically go into some of the inferences which you need to get. Whenever I see the account number, whenever I see the customer number, my mind should automatically go towards a provision as per the MCA master circular, that if one account becomes an NPA, all the accounts for the same customer automatically becomes an NPA. That is what we need to understand. That means when you have these two columns in any of the bank, any of the branch, then immediately you can do one stratification, comparing how many customers are there, for each customer, how many accounts are there, and out of those accounts, whether those all are into SA or NPA, that means standard assets or NPA. So through which you can understand, is there any irregularity, right? Now what I'll be doing, I can simply do Control plus A. Control plus A is the shortcut to copy this entire data. Let me tell you, most of the banks, they keep the reports in the text format. The reason behind it is text format occupies very less space. Because of that, they keep everything into the text format. Now, but I can't directly open a text file and do the analysis. What I need to do, I should use a tool where I can use the features and the functions so that I can reach the inferences. The tool which I use is MS Excel, and which is very convenient for everyone. Let me Control A, Control C. Let me open an Excel file. I will just open an Excel file. Okay, I'll do Control V. But can I directly do the analysis on this? Not possible. Do you know the reason why? Because the entire data is into one column. As of now, it is the unstructured data. 80% of the time we need to spend on the first day, once we step into the bank branch audit, is just converting the text files into the Excel files. Okay, so first I taken the data into my Excel. Now I need to go to the data. There is a feature called text to column. If you are using for the first time, before going for the bank audit, at least spend some time to get the familiarity with this feature, text to column. Basically, your file is two types. One is delimited, or second one is the fixed width. Delimited in the sense, at the back end, whenever they are designing a report, they will decide whether this is just for the information sake or this is for the reporting sake. When it is just for the information sake, then they'll just keep comma or anything as a delimiter. Okay, that means it can even have 1,000 characters in one single row. But when it comes to the fixed width, Fixed width in the sense, while designing the report, they understand that the final format to be printed either in the A3 paper or A4 paper and so on. Since A3 paper or A4 paper size width is exactly same, they'll fit the columns into that width. That is the meaning of the fixed width. This particular file, by looking into it, you will get to know this is a fixed width file, not a delimited file, because I can see this is one column, this is second column, this is third column, and so on. So what I'll be doing, I'm just going back to my Excel, right? Fixed width. Now let me go to the next. If you go to the next, okay. If you go to the next, you can see the preview. The biggest disadvantage of text column is you can't expand this window to make your preview bigger. Okay, you can only find in the preview maximum 6 to 7 rows, right? So you can see the account number. You just keep the cursor wherever you want to cut the column. I kept the cursor here, so it cut the column. I kept the cursor here. I want to break the customer number. Let me go towards right side. I want to break the customer name. Let me go towards the right side. I want to break, I want to break the limit, right? I want to break the interest rate. Then I want to break the Theo balance. You will get to know the meaning of Theo balance little later. I want to break the outstanding. Then I want to break the irregularity, sanction date, EMIs due, EMIs paid, EMIs overdue. Then I want to break the new IRAC, old IRAC, arrear condition. Then let me break the currency and let me break this EMI or installment. Then let me break the irregularity, unrealized interest, accrued interest. Is there any stress in the account? What is the condition of SMA? Then whether is there any risk asset? Then other date, write-off flag, write-off amount, and write-off date. Okay. Now you can just click finish. This is a very simple step. You just need to know how your data got segregated. You just give the break there and you will get to know. Let me click finish. Guys, you can make this session more interactive. You can ask the question whenever you find something where I'm going faster. Okay, even if I cover small, but if you can digest that and use it while doing the bank audit, I'm happy. Instead covering 100 things in 2 hours where you get nothing out of it. That's the reason I'm going little slow. And if you still feel I'm going faster, please let me know. Okay, so this step I have done. What is the second step? Every time I ask the question that, can I now analyze this data? I can't analyze this data. Why? This is still not a structured data. Okay, you just converted the text data into the Excel. Now I need to apply a data cleaning activity. What do you mean by data cleaning? Unnecessary rows I should remove so that whatever the relevant data which is required for me. For which you can follow 2 techniques. One is using the sort, the other one is using the filter. But I want to use the filter method. What I want to do, first step, first what I'll be doing, I'll just copy this entirely, paste here so that you can see step-by-step instruction here, right? Let me remove till the heading, control minus, right? Now keep the cursor here so that headings are always on the top. Now keep the cursor here. What is the shortcut to reach till the end? Control Shift End. So let me click Control Shift End so that I have selected the entire data. Now you can go to the data, apply the filter. You will get to know why I applied the filter. Why the reason behind, I can just check this first column. This column must always have the account number. If anything other than the account number, what I can do? I can simply delete that. That means it is something the junk data. What I'll be doing now, I will just click this filter down, unselect everything, go to the end. Generally numbers are on the top. Select everything including the blanks. Right? Yeah. Now I can find the numbers. I kept the numbers. Other than numbers, everything I got selected. Let me click OK. These all are required to keep, or you want me to delete? I should delete this. Why? Because these all are the rows not having any proper data which is required for me. What I'll be doing, I will keep my cursor here. I'll do Control Shift and right. I am selecting this data. So what I'm going to do, let me put all the shortcuts which I'm using in the class. Control plus A is the first shortcut I have used. Select all. Control plus C is copy. Control plus V is paste. Then I have used text column that you can find in the data tab. You can find in the data tools group. Data tools group. Then text column. Then text to column. In the text column, we used the fixed width. This is based on your data, right? After that, I used a shortcut Control plus Shift plus End. That will select the entire data. So select the data till the last used cell, right? Then we used a shortcut, then we used the filter, right? So you can go to the data tab and you can find in the sort and filter, there is an option called filter, right? Then what I have done, I filtered the unnecessary data. Once you filter the unnecessary data, I'm going to use a shortcut called Control plus minus. Control minus. That means delete. So what I'll be doing now, I have selected this data, Control minus. It is asking for a pop-up. Mr. Saran, do you want to delete the entire row? Of course, yes. Right? Entire chunk data I have removed. Now you can just clear your filter. Then you select the first row, bold it. Wow, my data is ready on which I can apply the stratification. So the steps are two. Identify the file which is required. Then get into the Excel, do the text to column. Then do the data cleaning activity. I follow a very simple cleaning activity called filter. You go to a column where uniqueness is there, either the number or the date or the text. Other than that, everything is a scrap. You select other than all those numbers, then you delete that. This is what the proper data I have.
Saran,
Now,
can I ask one query in that?
of course, sir.
Saran, see what happened. Like, I'm just sharing my practical experience, what I faced. I believe in some banks, I got the sheet in which every account is in 3 or 4 rows.
Sir, thank you so much for asking this question. I
Because,
already got the file. This is what my next example. This is
okay,
what
okay.
my next
Because it
example.
is actually very time consuming otherwise, na? If I'm not doing it correctly.
This is the one you are referring. What is
Yes,
on
sir. Yes, sir.
screen?
This is my query. So I'm definitely
That
getting
is part of my session. That is part of my session.
Thank you, sir.
Great.
और कोई
Okay.
सर is there any कोई सिंपल शॉर्टकट नहीं है पूरी शीट टेक्स्ट से प्रॉपर बढ़िया सी बना दे हमारे लिए हमें हर साल करना पड़ता है
No shortcut, sir. But last year, I don't know whether it reached to the north. I prepared tools for State Bank of India and Union Bank, 2 tools, macros, free macros. I've shared it the same for entire fraternity free. Okay, this time, if not, I'll be sharing across to you all so that you can just select the files that does the text column and do some of the filters, leave you there. Since from that point, you can do the audit. Okay, I'll share across to the Sandeep sir after the session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I hope everyone got till here, right? Now, every column, we can do analysis here. For every column, one or other analysis you can do. As I mentioned you, this is just the loan balance file. This loan balance file includes the NPA. Okay, so what I immediately need to do, I should get the NPA column. I should get the NPA file. Then I should have another column, whether NPA, which accounts are NPA or not. Once you get that, you can easily get to know for the same customer whether both accounts which are standard and substandard are there. Okay, that example, that stratification, I'll cover a little bit. Now, please have a look. And first, I'll do the stratification. Now, what I'll be doing, let me select this entire data. Okay, pivot table is the one, very important. Meaning is, with pivot table, you can do most of the bank audit. Okay, so what I'll be doing here, I can go to the insert tab. I can go to the insert tab. I can go to pivot table. Let me click from table. Just click OK. You need not to do anything so that this data will come into the other sheet, right? So here I'm going to keep the pivot table. In Microsoft Excel, pivot table is the one through which you can make the summaries. Summaries always give us the inferences through which you can take the decision better, right? So let me go to this sheet, and where you can find the pivot table, insert tab, pivot table, right? Great. Now, friends, when you keep any of the fields into the rows, what will happen? That will come one below other. Now, what I want to do here, I want to go to the outstanding. This is one of the very important column because this total should match with your balance sheet. Okay, from the advances ledgers, right? What I'll be doing, I will take the outstanding into the values. Wow, I got the total, right? But getting the entire total, there is no meaning. I need to do some analysis. What I'll be doing, I will take the outstanding again into the rows. If I take the outstanding into the rows, what happened, every outstanding unique value came one below other, which doesn't have any meaning, Okay. So what I'm going to do till here, I hope everyone understood. I've taken outstanding here. I've taken another outstanding here. Let me right click this. Many people doesn't know that there is a feature called grouping in the pivot table. You can do the text grouping, you can do the number grouping, and you can also do the date grouping, right? This is a number. Let me right click on group, right? With this, what I understood, there is a minimum value called 0 and there is a maximum value called 6 crore 95 lakh 90,067. Now Excel is asking, Mr. Saran, which one you want to have a grouping? I want to group 50 lakh as a range so that from this point till this point, it break with the range 50 lakh. Wow. Now this is giving me some inferences for me. Don't worry, let us go a little further. These all act as the working paper. Okay, these all act as the working paper, right? Now what I'll be doing, I will take another outstanding year. I will take another outstanding year, same outstanding. Let me take same outstanding year. But you may think that Sharon got mad because the same count again and again, why it is required. Don't worry. I will just right click. I will make it as a sum. But already sum is there. Why sum is required? I will right click. I'll show values as percentage of the grand total so that I can see what is the percentage. I can right click. I can count this. Anyway, count is there. Let me right click. Let me give the percentage of the grand total. This is a small Pareto analysis which I can do. This is the sum. This is the sum percentage. This is the count percentage. Now, from this, I can understand if I can do the audit of these accounts 16, I'm almost covering the portfolio of 31%. Wow. You are just doing the audit of 3% accounts and you will be covering 31% total together, right? So to get this directly, this data, what I need to do, can anyone tell? Very simple. This is above 10 crore, right? I will simply right click. I will go to the group. Sorry, this is above 1 crore. I will make this as 1 crore. Check it out. This is the one, right? 16, and this is basically 31%. So above 1 crore, and after that everything. So we have till 7 crore. Now again I'm breaking this below 1 crore. Let this be everything together. Then till 7 crore I want to take it. Then what I want to do, you can just go and do the R&D on this. You can just put the step value and you can do whatever you want. Now what I want to do, I want to have 1 crore is my start grouping. This is 1 crore, right? And I want to take this ending as it is. Then I want to keep this as maybe the 7 crore. Why I'm doing this? Because otherwise you can just keep this as a 7 crore, because this is near to the 7 crore, right? Please give me the grouping from 1 crore till 7 crore, where you can take 7 crore as a step value. If I click OK, what happened, less than 1 crore, everything together like this, and 1 crore to 8 crores, everything together like this, right? I hope everyone understood how to do the stratification. Now I want to do the audit of this. Now, to be okay, these accounts to be considered. How to get the extract of all these accounts? Very simple. You can just double click any of these 4 cells. The extract will come from the basic. Now let me double click this. These all are the 16 accounts. I want to do the audit, so I can simply take this annexure 1 for the mandatory audit. Now again, what I do, here, these all are the large accounts which I feel that I consider. Again, here, what I'll be doing, I'll put a staff name. Let's say I have 4 staff in my office, A, B, A, D, A. You can just have a very random values. D, sorry, I can just have ABCD, ABCD, so that they can start working on this. Let me drag this so that all my staff, 4 staff, can take their respective accounts and they can have the working. Very simple. That means if I can do the audit of 16 accounts, it is covering 31%. Tomorrow, even when you get a call from the regulator, if you have the analysis like this, they feel very they feel very pleasant, because you are not telling to the regulator that you are taking a random sampling. You are taking a proper scientific sampling. This is what the method which I follow to get the samples, right? This is what the strat 1. Let me keep it as a stratification 1. I can do other stratification. What other stratification I can do with this data? Let me have another pivot table. What I can do to have the pivot table? Very simple. Go to the insert from the table, keep OK, so that you got the pivot table. Now what I can do, I want to take based on the account type. Keep it here. This is nothing but the product. Try to understand. Okay, so this is nothing but the account type. Account type is nothing but the product, right? Very important. Now what I want to do, I want to take the outstanding. I want to take the total of outstanding sum. Also, I want to just, give the comma format. I'll apply the same techniques here. I will take the outstanding again here. I will take the outstanding again. I will also take the outstanding. What I'll be doing with this activity, I will get to know the branch nature, whether this branch give more loans towards the business or towards the agriculture and so on. Now let me go here, show values as percentage of the grand total. This is some percentage, count percentage. Wow, check it out. Now what I can do, I want to have based on the size. Let's go to the wow. Out of the total portfolio of 123 crore, okay, only into the MSME loans, 39 crore into this percent. Okay, I can just put a sample here. I want to do the audit of 4 accounts out of this, out of 125, 4 accounts. I want to do the audit of 1 account, of 2 accounts, 2 accounts, 1 account, 2 accounts, 2. This is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, this is the way where you can even create the working papers along with your stratification. The total of this is 42 accounts. I'm sorry, 42 accounts. Then again, you can just allocate the staff name, respective staff name. Okay, can I write a small formula so that you can get the staff name also randomly? Very simple. Equal to, there is a function called choose. Let's say I have 4 staff called staff A, staff B, staff C, staff D. I can do very simple. I can put a random between function 1, 4, right? I can have a staff name called staff 1, right? Comma staff 2. Why I'm keeping in the double quotation? Because those are text. Staff 3, comma staff 4. What happened? Randomly, it choose either 1, R2, R3, R4. Enter. Just copy paste. Right? If you keep on pressing F9, because it's a random between, it keep on change. If you don't want these values to change, copy paste special values. Okay, I'm just keeping as it is so that you can see the formula later. This is the way you can have the stratification. So what I can do, I can just keep this here. This is what the stratification number 2. If you have this type of proper standard nature from start to end, even tomorrow you get a call from the RBI or regulator or any of the regulator, you can easily explain them what methodology you adopted for the given time doing the bank audit, the approach, the scientific approach. Okay, through this stratification, I've taken this annexure. You can just ask your staff to double click and they'll get this information. They can take random records out of 184 for every. Okay, very important stratification I can do. Now see, every column will give one or other thing. Now you will be having another column called limit. Then you have another column called interest rate. You have another, you have another column called standard. When you find the, yes, you know what I'm point from my heart, which talk about the interest. 1 second, 1 second, just give me 1 minute. I'll just talk about that. I'll just show you one LFR point. I don't know what you guys do to give the remark. There is a question whether in borrower accounts the system. What is the answer generally we write in this case? Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, can anyone tell what general comment? You know, in my experience, I have seen n number of LFR reports signed by the chartered accountants. For this, the standard answer. During our audit, there are no instances where discrepancies found with respect to the interest rate. But what is the working paper behind this? And are you going to randomly take the sanction letters and look into the interest rate? No. I am having one scientific approach for this. Okay. The question is whether the borrower accounts, the interest rate is correctly fed into the system or not. Where they can find the interest rate sanction letter. But which sanction letters you need to take? Let's say in the last year, there are 1,200 accounts they sanctioned, or 200 accounts they sanctioned. But what accounts you are going to check? Are you going to check for all the accounts? No. What is the method I follow? Everyone please have a look. I will just select this data. I will go to the insert, give the pivot table, table range, click OK. Right? Interest rate is generally similar or nearby for every product. Sorry, for that particular product. Let's say there is a product called X. It's a product, right? Whoever interest rate, okay, let's say for that product 20 accounts are there. For all those 20 accounts, the interest rate must be almost similar. Maybe 1-2% spread is there. That is based on the CIBIL rating and the security and so on. But you will not find for the housing loan, one guy is getting 5%, the other guy is getting 13%. That's not possible at all. Okay, how the analysis which I do, please have a look. What I am doing now, account type is there. Let me keep here. We are already seen this. Now, I want to take the interest rate here. Let me take the interest rate here. Let me also take another interest rate. What is the meaning of it? Can anyone tell? Saran, the meaning is very simple. For this particular product, the total of the interest is 20.15. Is it having any meaning? Summing of all those interest rates? No. What I'll be doing, I will right click, I will summarize values by, I will take the minimum. That means for this product, the minimum interest rate is 8.7. Okay. I will also right click here. I will summarize values by max. What is the meaning of it? For the same product, for one customer, it is 11.45. So this is the minimum interest rate. This is the maximum interest rate. Let me calculate the spread. Spread is nothing but max minus min. You can simply copy paste, right? Wherever the spread is just 1% or 2% acceptable, because of the CIBIL, because of the security what you provide, because of the risk that 1 to 2% spread is there. But when the spread is more, let's go to the end. You will be finding a spread of 9.6 by 7.7 and so on. Just filter this. 2.75 for this particular product. One customer got 8.7, the other customer got 11.45. Now let me have the count so that you can also understand how many customers got 8.7 and how many customers got 11.45. Sorry, let me have a count of both the cases. Okay, I'll just take the count of this. How to take the count of this? It's very simple. Keep the account type here. Oops, because this data is already there. So control plus. Now I can just have the count of account type so that you can see how many accounts are there. I'm sorry. Right? Wonderful. This is just the number of accounts for my understanding, right? If branch manager want to do a favor to the customer, then what he does, what generally he can do, he can reduce the interest rate into the system so that the system will calculate the less interest for the customer. Is there any meaning of doing an audit or taking the samples where the interest rate is maximum? There is no point. So in this case, you know how I'll take the samples? I will take one sample, which is 8.7. I will take from the down 2 samples. I will take from the bottom, since 125 accounts are there, let me check 5 accounts. This is a little tricky because almost like, you know, the spread is very, I'm sorry. I think this spread formula got changed because of extra column I added. Okay, just copy paste. Now you can just go here. I'm sorry. You can just go to the end. I want to take all these, right? So I can take 1 account, 2 account, 5 accounts. Let me take 1 account out of this. Now let me take some 5 accounts out of this. The total samples I want to take in this case is 14. But which accounts you want your staff to work on this? I want my staff to double click this. At the bottom onwards, it has to take. I want my staff to double click, not randomly 2 out of this. Bottom accounts where the interest rate is 9.75, I want 2 accounts. Okay, I want 125. I want to take at the bottom what all are the accounts. So if you can do this type of audit, having the proper sampling, I'm sure your audit working papers automatically get ready. You may ask the question, Mr. Saran, in this case, these all are the accounts my staff can do the audit, but they are cross-verifying with the document, right? How can we get the document into our working paper? That means I may need to take the Xerox of it and get it every time. Not required. The biggest weapon these days, your article student are you, in your hand is nothing but your phone. My point is, you want, whenever you find a sanction letter for which you verified into the system, take a snap of it. Take a snap of it. Then you can save that into your system and you can get that proof here. What I'll be doing? Sanction letter. You can't get the entire sanction letter here, right? So what I'll be doing? Let's say I've taken a snap of a sanction letter. That's a small image. I can go to the insert. I can go to the object here. I am inserting an object, which is an image. Let's say in my case, the image may be a small, any small image. Let me take it on my desktop. There is a proof. Let me take, you can take any image, map icon. Let's say this is some image with respect to the sanction letter. Let me double click this. I want to display it as an icon. You can just change the icon, maybe something if you want, actually, if really you want something, maybe you can take this as a document, or if you want, you can take anything for that matter. Okay, you need not to spend too much time to get it. Let this be as it is. I can just click OK. You know what happened? One icon is there. Make it small. Sanction letter, one readily available. Even after 10 years, if I open this Excel file, if I get a question from the regulator, what I can tell him, Mr. Regulator, in the LFR, I commented based on the samples I've taken here. For those samples, the proof is readily available here. Just double click this proof. Your image will get open. Now let me click OK and your image will get open. See, in my case, it is a small icon I have taken, but in this case, you know, so you can get your sanction letters. Let's say if you want to keep, in this case, 2 images, one after another. What you can do?
Saraji, it will be separately stored in the folder or it will be stored in the Excel file only?
It will be stored in the Excel file. If I send this Excel file to you, even if you double click this image will get open. This concept is nothing but an embedded concept. Your Excel will take this entire image and keep it into the memory. Okay, I can send this file to anyone. You need not to have this image.
Saranji, can you again repeat this task, because one of the WhatsApp I received, they told us, can you do it again, please?
No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Okay.
Thank you.
Object. Okay, you can find in the insert tab. Insert tab. You can go to the text. You can go to the object. You can attach any of these items. Okay, go to the create file, browse. Then any of the image, if you want, you can take it. I can maybe take, let's take the image of maybe the Vijayawada branch, some icon. Okay, VB icon. Right, display as an icon. Just click OK. Right. Keep this. If you want to keep the second one in the same place, now I can just go here, second icon, just besides that, maybe I can have, let me drag down. Is there any other image? You can get not only image, anything. I want to have an Excel file. For example, not this one. Let me take some other Excel file, which is the backup for the earlier file, or maybe a Word document. Okay. So reference print. No, I want to take something else. I don't know. Yeah, let me take this Excel file, which I want to take it as an icon. Click OK, so that this can be the proof. It is an object. I need not to open this Excel all the time. Okay, I need not to open the original Excel. Once I double click this Excel will automatically get open. And in fact, this is disconnected from your source. Once you get as an object, till that point of time, whatever the file, that file is entirely belongs to you, this Excel file now. Okay, if I want to open this file, just double click, that Excel got open. Wow. Okay, any questions, sir, Shashank ji?
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Saran.
Yeah. So along with our stratification and working, the working paper should get ready. Okay. See, even after 20 years or 10 years or 5 years, if I get a call from the regulator, for that matter, even institute may call, a chartered accountant to know the quality of the audit. I can easily demonstrate them that, sir, I have taken this file and this file I converted from the base file. Then these all are the stratification I followed and I allocated this to the staff, and even you can put the staff name. At least apparently this looks them, how you are doing a proper audit. Let's say you are not doing all these things, very randomly you're taking the samples and you completed the audit. Tomorrow, one account became a fraud out of those accounts where you have done the audit. If you get a call from the regulator, you can't explain them, first of all. You cannot tell them that, sir, I've taken samples and out of the sample, this account is not there. Then they'll ask for what is the methodology you adopted for the sample. When you have this entirely like a story, 90% of the cases, their mind will go to a positive note on you. Okay, this is the stratification 3, which talk about the interest rate and the samples verification, right? Now, let us go into this one. See, every point in the LFR, if you want to discuss and do the analysis, 3 to 4 hours are also not sufficient. I'm just trying to take the important aspects. Have you come across cases of quick mortality in accounts where the facility became non-performing within a period of 12 months from the date of first sanction? Details of such accounts may be provided in the following manner. They are not asking the samples. What they are asking? Because your scope is to look into the internal controls, efficacy of the systems you need to comment. So how they can identify the efficacy of the system? Let's say they sanction the loan to 30 members. Okay, out of 30 members, 15 became NPA within 1 year. Then what is an indication to the RBI or the regulator or the central statutory auditor? The credit appraisal mechanism for that particular branch is very poor. For that purpose, they're asking you to report all the accounts. Here, they're not asking you to look into the sample. You need to take all the accounts which fall into this category. How you can calculate that? This is the way I can do that. Now, let me save this file as a working paper of the loan balance. Working file of loans, right? Now, what I'll be doing, I will just go to this. I will keep here, right? I kept one more file ready for you. Now I think I have opened so many files. Let me close so that there should not be any confusion. Now let me close this. Yeah, there is one more file if you look into this folder called a quick mortality, right? If you want to do the quick mortality accounts, if you want to identify the quick mortality account, there must be 2 columns minimum. One is the sanction date. The other one is the NPA date. I can easily understand from this what are the performing assets and what are the non-performing assets. This quick mortality is about the non-performing asset. These all are performing assets. And let me take another one. This is the non-performing asset, right?
Sorry to interrupt, Saranji.
Yes,
This is the sheet provided by them, or we have extracted the sheet from the advances sheet only?
No, this is a separate one which I created. How you can create this sheet, sir? I have got the file, right? Loan balance file. Okay, 1 second. Let the file get open. You will also get one more file called NPA file. Okay. Then you can have a VLOOKUP from the NPA file to this loan balance file.
Okay.
Sir, I hope you're getting my point.
Yes.
Yeah. Once you give a VLOOKUP, you will get to know which accounts are standard accounts and which accounts are substandard accounts. So in that loan NPA file, you will be having what? Account number, NPA date, and all other outstanding amount and so on. So I will combine those 2 columns into this file. Since it is something live file where I got it, NPA file is not for this file available. So that's why I went into the other file, okay, which I prepared for the class. Okay,
sir, but I believe in this sheet only, we have some kind of numbering which is specifically say that this account is NPA or not, like 1 or 0, some kind of.
In this file, Yes, you can identify that even from this file. There is an arrear condition. I'll just go into that if you can give me some time.
Yeah,
Maybe
please.
if you go here, from here, you can easily identify whether it is a NPA or not with the old IRAC and so on. If you go to the 3 file, okay, most probably these all are the, okay, NPA if I'm not wrong. Okay, since I don't have an NPA file with me readily, that's the reason I'm not going into the assumption. Okay, but for new IRAC, old IRAC, arrear condition, we have a detail. This is only in case of banks 24 you can find, especially in case of Central Bank of India, State Bank of India. In those cases, you'll find these three columns. In the regular cases like Union Bank, you are readily available one column called standard asset or non-standard asset. Last year, in fact, we have done the audit of Union Bank. Let me just show you how that Union Bank files are there. I'm just trying to tell you in different banks how it work. In the Union Bank, the file you will get like this. I'm sorry. Yeah, these are all of the files which are important, but the very important file is A1, A4 file. This is what the file. In that, you are having, you know what? This is my real file which I have taken last time. See, you will be having a column called tag standard asset or non-standard asset. They give the list like this, sir. Okay, I have to do a VLOOKUP function here so that I can identify which are the standard assets and which are the not standard asset. Sir, you get my point, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
So it is a bank to bank, it is different. See, one more place where you can find class. Class one in the sense, okay, let's go to the master. I might have written this. Class, if you can, okay, it's not there, but I can see from the, is there anything like provisioning? Okay, yeah. See, if you see class 1 is a standard, class 2 is substandard, class 3 is doubtful, class 4 is the bad accounts. So this is another place through which I can identify, okay, 2, 3, 4 are nothing but the NPAs, substandard. Just check it out here. You can find the tag only NPA. Okay, we just need to identify which columns can help me out. But if no column relates to the NPA or classification, either standard or substandard, then you take the NPA file and for the original file, you give a VLOOKUP function so that all accounts which are NPA, you can tag it very easily. Sir, you got it, sir?
Yes, Charanji, definitely. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm really enjoying your session, and I hope all the members are enjoying your session, because you are sharing those insights which we usually do, but in not such a refined manner. Like, you have actually made the document so much easy for every viewer today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, sir. Sir, just give me 1 minute. I'll just connect my charger. I forget to do that.
Yeah, sure. And members, I request, if anybody has any query, please don't hesitate to ask, because whatever he's teaching us, this is a thing actually we have to do. And because this is the process, how you maintain the entire documentation of auditing the loans and advances. And I believe without this Excel summary, we are really not able to like really analyze all the advances. And I always thank people like Saranji. Always. Glad to have you here. Please, Saranji, continue.
Yeah. So I'm talking about this LFR, this point of LFR. If you look here, have you come across the case of quick mortality in account where the facility became non-performing within a period of
Saranji,
excuse me, I'm back. So within a period of 12 months from the date of first sanction, details of such accounts may be provided in the following manner. So I'm sure you will be having two columns called sanction date. This is available from either the loan balance file or CCOD file, and NPA date. You will get it if it is already available, fine. If not, you ask for the NPA file, do the VLOOKUP, I'm sure you can get this, right? So what I'm going to do here, I need to comment on the files greater than 12 months. Within 12 months became NPA. Okay, less than 12 months, right? But how to get the months here? Okay, so first of all, let me filter only the NPA accounts. Let's go here. Let me filter only NPA accounts, right? Now I need to use a function called, there is a function called date diff. Many people may not know this function because this is a hidden function. That's the reason, even while typing this function, you are not finding anything in the dropdown. Okay, so let me do the open bracket. Because of technical reasons, this function at the front end may not be available, but the back end, this function is still active. Start date is this, comma, NPA date is this, comma, in double quotation, keep Y. Sorry, M, because I want to have the completed months between these two dates. If it is 12 above, I should not comment upon. Okay, I need not to report. If it is below 12, I should report. Enter. 11. Just copy paste. You know what happened? Now let me do the filter, right? I want to take 9, 10, 11. Why I have not taken 12? 12 means completed 12. That means it is even one day excess than 12. So I don't want to consider. That's the reason I have filtered only for 9, 10, 11 or below 11, you can say. Below, less than or equal to 11. Okay. These all are the accounts which they are talking about. I can simply copy these accounts and I can simply put here as an annexure to the quick mortality. Annexure, maybe you can call it as a 2, then you can just paste here. These all are the quick mortality account. But friends, you are only bothered about the accounts which became an NPA in the year of audit. So what you can do, even out of, since it's a last year file, okay, I'm just looking into this, even, okay, even this is last year file, still I can correlate. Last year is 2021, right? So I should keep everything 2021. Other than that, I should remove. So this one is belongs to the before last year, right? If you are trying to do the audit of 21-22, you filter NPA date at the time of applying a function itself, which belongs to the current financial year. So only these two accounts are not belongs to the current financial year. Let me delete those, right? Remaining all belongs to the financial year 2021, and these all are the quick mortality accounts. Okay, this is the way we can calculate. Since this file is belongs to the last year file, I'm just carrying as it is. I hope you can understand the concept. The formula is very simple. So I can keep this formula on the top so that you can understand much better. This is nothing but the sanction date. This is nothing but the NPA date. You can keep in the double quotation M, right? This is what the formula. Then filter for less than or equal to 11, right? That is nothing but the result is quick mortality accounts.
I think so. Less than 12 will also work or not, because we have completed.
Less than 12 also. Yeah, less than or equal to 11 or less than 12. Both are one and the same, right, sir?
Okay.
You can't take less than or equal to 12 because this formula will give you completed months.
Yes.
12 means already 12 months completed.
Okay.
Okay, sir. This is one account, one of the LFR point we can comment upon. This is the methodology we cannot. Let me save this and close this. Right now, let us go to the same file which I was talking about and theoretical balance. I don't know how many of you have the knowledge about the theoretical balance. What is the meaning of theoretical balance? It's like basically we ask them, right? Many a times we use this word. Theoretically, that may be correct, but practically it is different. That means an ideal balance. That means if the customer pay on the due date properly, ideally how much must be the balance as on 31st March? This is what that balance, right? Let me keep this in a green color, you can understand. Outstanding balance is nothing but the real balance. Now, the difference between this and this, we can correlate. If the theoretical balance is more, let me write somewhere here so that you can understand better. I'm just trying to compare theo balance versus regular balance. If the theo balance is greater than the outstanding balance, actual outstanding, can anyone interpret what is the meaning of it? That means ideal balance is more than the actual balance. That means system is showing I need to pay 1 lakh, but actually I need to pay only 80,000. So I'm in a safe side. The branch is in a safe side. Customer paid much excess than required. That means this is okay condition, right? For example, theo balance is equal to the actual outstanding. What is the meaning of it? This also okay. Customer is paying on due date. Customer paid excess than required. Customer paid on the due date on time. Okay, customer paid on time, right? The last is the one little tricky. If the theo balance is less than the actual outstanding, this is nothing but the out of order. As we all know, out of order is basically for the NPA cases. It is 3 installments. Then we can call it as an NPA. In case of term loans, in case of CCOD accounts, if it is continuously overdue, out of order for 90 days, then we can consider as an NPA. In this case, it is out of order. So now let me go back to my file.
Now, this is for term loans or for every CCOD every?
No, in case of CCOD, you may not find the theo balance.
Exactly.
Only for the term loan case, you can find the theo balance.
So we have to check like 3 installments, and if it is more than.
Correct. For which I'm going to use a small formula. So what I'll be doing, I'll just insert another 2 more columns. First, I'll cross check. First of all, whether it's out of order or not, I'll identify. If this is less than, okay, if this is greater than this, that means this is little tricky. Okay, if this is greater than this, then it is out of order. If not, this is okay. Okay, I don't want to get anything. Check it out. If the actual outstanding is more than the ideal balance, then it is out of order. Okay, if it is out of order, continuously it must be 90 days. So if not, this is okay. Enter. Just copy and paste. Right? Now you filter. That means this all accounts are the out of order. I'm sure many may be NPA accounts. Leave it. Okay. And also let us see how much is the irregularity. You can easily identify the irregularity. How? Let's take the irregularity. Anyway, they have given irregularity, but I need to identify myself to cross check. If this is greater than this, I want this minus this. If not, okay. If not, okay, this minus this. If not, I don't want anything. I want 0, right? This is 0 because in this case, theo is greater than. Now let me just copy paste. That means if the theo balance is greater than outstanding, I don't want anything. Irregularity is not there, 0. In other case, it is different. So this is the one which I created this column. Keep it in this color. Now I want to cross check what system has prepared the irregularity, what I have prepared. I can simply take this minus this, copy and paste, right? It has to be 0, absolutely matching. So this is what the cross check. It is absolutely matching. Now, how you can identify whether is there any NPA out of this? It's very simple. Let me insert one more column. I will, in case of out of order cases, this divided by installment I will take. Where is the installment? EMI or installment amount, enter, right? Now you can just copy paste. What I am doing, if irregularity is there, okay, that may be just 1 month irregularity or 2 months irregularity or 3 months irregularity. How do you know that? What I am doing, whatever the difference between actual outstanding and Theo balance, I am dividing with the installment amount. Then I got to know, okay, then I got, okay, let me give the comma format 2 decimal. Then I got the number. If this number is greater than or equal to 3, that means the irregularity is bigger value than total of the 3 installments value. That is 100% NPA. So this is the irregularity periods. Right?
So what we call for 2.99?
See, it is this 2.99 is basically we need to see. Okay, this is 11.92. This is 1377. We need to check it out the reason for this, why it is 2.99. That means, is there still something has not paid or any balance, or it may be immaterial? We just need to identify. That means he might have paid maybe just 100 rupees to make sure that, okay, it is not falling into that.
Yes.
So we need to check it out exactly this account statement. Just for the identification, what I'm going to do, I will take, in fact, you have to take only this for the non-NPA cases greater than 3, greater than or equal to 3. Okay, these all must be into the NPA. You need not ask anyone. Okay, you check with the NPA statement, whether it is there, good. If not, then we should ask the question. Okay, I'm just trying to correlate the columns which are already available into your data. Okay, so that is the way we need to analyze these 2 columns. And of course, friends, for your information, especially the people who are using Banks 24, what I have done, let me go to this. There is a analysis of loan balance file. I'm giving you something very handy with the arrear condition with this, so that you can easily identify. Okay, this I'm going to share across to you. The advantage of this, you know what I'll be doing. This is what the NPA are not, right? NPA, right? Now, are you finding your arrear condition? Yes, this is what the arrear condition. Now, what I'll be doing, I'll insert one more column, arrear condition reason. You may not identify directly looking into these codes. 0 means I'm not sure what it is. Okay, what I will be doing, I will write a small VLOOKUP function. VLOOKUP, look for this value, where into this, right, comma, in these 2 columns, I want to get the second column value as an answer, 2, 0, enter. Check it out. Look for this in these 2 columns from the arrear condition supporting table. If it is available, give the second column value as an answer, otherwise 0. But in most of the cases, we got 0, right? So what I'll be using, I'll use another function called if error, so that if any error is there, you can please ignore for the time being. Okay, you can ignore, enter, right? Just copy paste. Now what happened, you know, I can just see 2 EMIs greater than, this is the condition. 505 means greater than or equal to 2 EMIs values. This must be into the SMA 2. This is EMI overdue 7 to 29. Can anyone tell what is this? This is SMA 0. As an auditor, you are also need to report on the SMA reporting. So you have to take the report and make sure that what you are filtering is matching there. Irregularity 7 to 29 days. This must be again into the SMA 0. This must be into the SMA 2. This must be into the SMA 1 and so on. But what I'll be doing, you know, I'll make a small pivot table. I'll go to the insert, go to the table, click OK. Now I got the reason for the arrear condition. Okay, so let me go to the, oh, I'm sorry. Let me refresh this data. Yeah. Okay, let me right click and refresh this data so that that column also will get add. Now I can simply go here. Yeah, reason. Now let me take the reason for this. and I want to know what is the outstanding value for this. Where is the outstanding? Yeah, this is the outstanding, right? So now you can just go to right click and summarize values by count. If you can easily analyze, you can just check it out. What is the reason why this is not there? Maybe this is SA, standard asset, and the 2 EMIs are not. This must be into the SMA 2, and this must be into the SMA 0. Okay, then this must be into the SMA 0 again. This must be greater than or equal to 60 days SMA 2, and this must be into the SMA 1, and this must be greater than S substandard. So these all are NPA accounts. By looking into this, you can easily identify. Okay, now you take the SMA reports. Yeah, usually bank managers very well manage Theo balance, and actual outstanding is generally less than. No, sir. Okay, I may not agree, sir, because in my last time, not immediate last year, before that year, many items we got the clue from the Theo balance itself. As SARS exactly asked a question 2.99, 2.5. We have taken between 2 to 3, and we understood that these all managed accounts, then we identified. Okay. And can you please repeat use if error function? I'll do that, sir. Okay. This is just another stratification about the SMA. So this is stat number 4. Stat number 4, which talk about the SMA. You can just go to the SMA reports and make sure that this is correct. Sir, the formula which I have written for getting the reason, you know what? Let me go here. Yeah, let me go here. Yeah. So the formula which I have written, I hope you all understood till the VLOOKUP. Whenever I write just the VLOOKUP, what is happening, you know, I'm getting error because 0 is not there. So to overcome this problem, I am writing a formula called if error. If this entire result is an error, then give me blank. That means nothing, right? So enter, copy and paste. Very simple. If error is having 2 arguments, one argument is which value, second argument, if it is this, if it is an error, what is the value you want to display? As simple as it. Okay. So this is another stratification you can do. And you can just go through this. I'm sure you can find many other items. Okay. This is what the little analysis which you can do with the loan balance file. Now let me save this and close this. Right. Now I'm going into the file which asked by Shashank sir. This is what the file generally we call as a other reports. Very tricky file, but lot of information you can find out of this file. So what I'll be doing, I will just take as a sample, sir, not, it's a very big file having so many thousands of accounts. What I'm doing, I'll be taking maybe some 30, 40 accounts, because whether you do the text to column for 30, 40 accounts or 1,000 accounts, both are one and the same. Let this be maybe some 100 accounts. Yeah, 100 or 200, say, I'm just copying and pasting this. Yeah, let's take till 200 accounts. Yeah, sir, I'm just taking till 200 accounts, sir. Okay, just for the information. Yeah, Control C. Let's go to the Excel. Let's go to the Excel. Let me do Control V. Shashank, sir, I hope you are available. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You asked,
I'm watching.
yeah.
I'm watching.
Great, great. Yeah. This is the file generally you'll find in the bank's 24 software. Okay, either Central Bank of India or maybe CCDP file, we call it as a SBI and so on. This is a little tricky file because the account is repeating into 6 rows. Okay, don't worry, that is that can be handled very easily. Now, what is the method in MS Excel to join many items together? You have so many formulas available. You can use AND symbol. You can use a function called concatenate. You can use a function called concat. You can use a function called a text join and so on. However, these two are in the latest version of Office 365. That's the reason I'm not going into these two examples. Concatenate is even there earlier. And the symbol also. The example what I'm talking here is A, B, C, D, E, F. If you want to join all these 6 items together, I can do in this way. select A, join with, select B, join with, select C, join with, select D, join with, select E, join with, select F, enter. But if you want to use the concatenate, you can still do that, concatenate, but unfortunately you can't take the range. Concatenate function cannot support the ranges inside. That is the reason they introduced a powerful function called concat, which can overcome the issues of concatenate. If it is a concat function, my job is very simple, select everything. Text join is more powerful because you may ask the question that, Mr. Saran, is there any possibility, can I have a comma between every value? Possible. You know what I can do? I can just go to the text join, the delimiter is comma, then I want to ignore the empty cells, then I can just select this, you will get along with comma. But considering today's session and members, let's say people are having old version. So let me use and symbol. What I'll be doing here, I am just using and symbol. This, join with this, join with this, join with fourth item, join with fifth item, join with sixth item, enter, right? But you cannot copy this further because if you copy this and paste below, what happened, here it has taken these items, here it has taken these items, which is wrong. So what I'll be doing, I'm not copying and pasting directly everywhere, but just for the identification, this is what the place where I have taken and symbol formula. Now my job is, what is the way I can filter the first row of every account so that I can copy paste this formula here. I can copy paste this formula here. The advantage is it also exactly take the left side 6 items. Okay. So, but how can I select exactly the first row of every account? I need to identify, is there any unique in the first row of every account? If you can observe carefully, the uniqueness which I can find here is that maybe this is the one. I think this one you will not find here, you will not find here, you will not even find anywhere. So control plus C. Why I copied that? Now you can just select everything, then you can just put the filter. Now I'll go to the filter, I will paste what I copied. What happened, after that? Whatever the items where this extract is there, those all rows got filtered. Wow. You know what happened? First item of entire account, first row of second account, first row of third account. Now what I'll be doing, I will simply copy paste this. Wonderful. This is nothing but my 6 rows from the left side. Now what I can do, Control C, I can go to the next sheet. I can do Control V. This is like a regular file. So I converted a row having an account having 6 rows to an account is having 1 row. From here doing a text to column, I'm sure you are the master. You can go to the text to column. This is a delimited. What is a delimited factor? That is nothing but the pipe symbol. So you can have shift backward slash, you will get that symbol, finish, then you select everything, auto fit. Wow. Okay, you got your final result. Now you can remove these unnecessary items by using a replace or by using the macros, and you can do a lot of things. Okay, that is very simple. Okay, so this file is very important because this file has lot more information to work on. Any question, anyone in this extraction of this file into the columns? Shashank sir, other members?
Yes, Saran sir.
You understood, sir?
Yes, sir. And can we have some good solution for removing these numbers as well, like 3 space partnership, or because that is also quite time consuming during the work.
Correct. For which actually, what I do? I record a small macro, sir. Okay. So I record a small macro. I apply the same macro again and again. Can I show you that? Okay. Yeah. So it's very simple. Macro is always of 2 types. relative macro, absolute macro. What I'm doing, I'll just keep my cursor. I just selected this. Okay. I can just go to developer tab or view. Okay. And you can have here in the view tab macros. First click this, use relative references, right? Now I want to record a macro. Now my macro name is sample or else remove headers, remove top. Okay, I can allocate a shortcut for this. What is a shortcut? I can use Control Shift Q, because Control Shift Q generally may not be available for the regular shortcuts, right? If I click OK, a macro will record. Let me click OK. At the back end, a macro is recording. How do you know that? You can see this icon got changed to record a macro to stop a macro. You can go here, you can find it, stop recording. You can go to the developer tab, you can find it, stop recording. It is an indication that it is recording at the backend. Now let me go to the data tab. Let me go to the text to column. Very important, have a look. Okay, I want to go to the fixed width. Let me go to the next. I don't want to just take one character, but I want to take two characters. The reason behind, even for 10, 11, and so on, it work, right? Now let me go to the next. I see there are two columns, right? It's going to split, but if it split two columns, there is no space. Only one column is there. Once I click finish, it's going to ask me, Mr. Saran, this is going to split into two columns. I don't have a space. You want me to replace. You want me to overwrite the existing data. But actually, I don't want this first column. Yes or no? Yes. So what I can do, select the first column, do not import. That means skip, so that only this column will remain. Now I can just click finish, right? Now I can just go to the view tab. I can just stop. Sir, for the only first one, I have taken this. From the second onwards, you can do on your own. What do you need to do? What is the shortcut? Can anyone remember which I have used here? I have used a shortcut called Control Shift Q. If I apply Control Shift Q, do you think it work? It has to work. Let's go here. Select this. Control Shift Q. Select this. Control Shift Q. Select. Don't worry. Oh, here. Yeah. How to overcome this problem? I'll tell you later. And here, Control Shift Q. Here, Control Shift Q. Here, Control Shift Q. There is a 6 space. I'll tell you how to overcome later. Control. Yeah. Here there is an error. Why there is an error? Because at one point, it is not taking, I think only one. Let me select this. Let me select this. Control Shift Q. It worked. Why it did not work, because I have kept my cursor here and selected, which is wrong. Your cursor has to be always on the top, selected. Control Shift Q. Sir, this is what a quickest method which I can give you.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, recording a simple macro can save the purpose. Control Shift Q. Control Shift Q. Control Shift Q. In my case, I anyway record the macro. I don't do this even. Let's Control Shift Q. Now this one is Control Shift Q. Control Shift Q. Control Shift Q. Even you can make it this as a loop. But there is a little problem. If you don't record it properly as a loop, you may go wrong. Okay, let me give you another risk. That's all. This one Control Shift Q, this one Control Shift Q. Okay, I know your next question would be, Mr. Saran, when you find the dates like up and down like this, what is the method you have? Can anyone tell what I can do in this case? This may be because of the extra spaces. First, you select entire column, Control H, space, replace. But still, it is appearing like this. Now, can anyone tell me the solution, what I can do? Simple. Go to the text column. You need not to do anything. Just keep on pressing next, next, next. Select the date. You need not to change anything because by default, it is in DMY. Just click finish. Everything will come into the regular format. Okay. So it's always good to have proper comma format, proper date format. Check it out. Even here, date is not correct. So what I can do, go to the next, select daily, click OK. proper. Perfect. This is also not in the date format. I can just put into the date. Done. So this is the way you can convert the entire data properly. Date of sanction is also not correct. So what I can do, select this, Alt D E, next, next, date. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm sure you may be having, these all are standard assets. So obviously you may not find an NPA here, right? Yes. Any question, anyone? Any question,
As
especially
of
in
now,
this file?
yeah, it's perfect. So, Saranji, one question.
Yeah.
Sometimes I faced that account ID is small, but uh, the account number,
Is
uh,
getting into
like
also
it
Excel
is more
format.
than it is. Yeah, it is more than like 12
Yeah,
digits.
it will
15
give you
digits.
like 18E plus something like.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's fine. In those cases, you know what you need to do? You select this. Okay,
Hmm.
whatever the, I think you will find the case like not in this case. Yeah, I understood. In those case, what you need to do, just select this, go to the text column, Alt D E, go to next, next, just select text so that the every account it converts into the text. Then automatically you'll find it.
Okay,
Okay, so that it automatically comes into the left side.
got it.
Okay, sir. Great. Okay, the another little stratification till here. Any question, anyone? Sir, I have another 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, sir. Please.
Yeah. Great. So let me save this file as CCDP file, working file. Yeah, since it's a macro file, it is asking me to save in .xlsm. Great. Save, close. Wonderful. Let me also close this. Let me also, yeah. I think we covered a majority of the important aspects. Sir, I'll just go through my recent bank audit files and stratification, which I have done so that you can understand something out of it. Okay. If you probably have any questions, probably we can take up. So I'll just take it. My real files, which I have done in the recent bank audit. This for the class, sir, just for the benefit of everyone. Don't share this data with anyone. Yeah, working files. And also let me tell you, this is the method which I follow standard for my office. Okay, for every, whenever we get the bank audit, pre-audit is all the documents, communication with the previous auditor, all of the circulars and everything we get it. And then these all are the three branches I got, Stonehousepet, Ongole and Santaravuru. Post audit will keep all the invoices, certificates and so on, including the certificate mandates and so on. And each again branch we will be keeping in this way. Pre-start is basically having any of the communication you're having with the branch, those all emails and so on. I keep one folder called base files. This we will not touch it at all. And this is the working files. Whatever the regular work, what we do, we will keep it here. And these all are the working papers are the proofs. I'll just take a snap of it. For example, cash register. We need to comment upon the cash register and so on. Those all will take as photos and everything we will keep here. And these all are the final reports. Okay. And including the UDIN we are going to keep here. So that this is standard. This year, I need not to tell to my staff. I only tell them, create the folders what we have created earlier. The same type of thing you keep in the respective folders. They are almost like standardized the entire process, right? Now, let me open this file, sir. This is the A1, A4 analysis we call in the account in the Union Bank. We get the file actually like this. This is what the masters have created to understand some of the loan codes. And this is what the main file actually. So we got the product code, product description. You'll find n number of columns here. Check it out. So many columns. The advantage of this file is even you can calculate the provisioning on your own, right? These all are the FITL loans, means at the time of COVID, they provided. This is the last year file I'm talking about. These all are the standard assets I filtered out. These all are the substandard assets, NPA cases, how I calculate the large advance I've taken the total from the main file, and I've taken the 10% of it. This is V. Then I've taken the limit to 10 crore. Then I have made a small formula, minimum of these two. Okay, no accounts are under the limit, right? So that means there are no large advances. At least this can act as another working paper tomorrow. And if you look here, this is one stratification I'm talking about. What this stratification is, surprisingly, in many cases we found the IRAC provision is under one customer ID, there can be so many accounts, but if one account become an NPA, all accounts should become an NPA. Unfortunately, in fact, I have even written very elaboratedly into my LFR also. Most surprisingly, in the bank where I have done the audit, so what I'll be doing, I will do it again for you. Let me copy this. Let me put into my new Excel. Everyone, please have a look. I will just put the pivot table. I'll just put the pivot table. Now, what I need to do, I have to take the customer ID. I have to take the customer ID. Okay. Then I should take the a standard asset or substandard, right? You just keep the NPA or standard asset. What is the point here? Both should not have the data. That is what the point, right? So if both are having the data, then there's a problem. Now, what I need to do, I want to take the outstanding. Where is outstanding? Yeah, net outstanding is there. Wonderful, right? So you can just take this. Let me select these three columns. Let me give comma format. I'm sorry. Let me give comma format with a 0 decimal, right? I don't want actually, yeah, this can be have a grand total. There's no problem for each customer, right? Now, for this particular customer, there are no NPA accounts, but SA is there, total is this. I can write a simple formula if, first let me write the AND function. And this is greater than or equal to 0. This, sorry, greater than 0, not greater than or equal to. This also greater than 0. Then what will happen if both are satisfied true? If not false, right? Just copy paste. Just copy paste. Now that means this is having greater than 0. This is having greater than 0. That means some balance is there in the NPA, some balance is there in the SA. What I can do, I can just put if this is true, there is something wrong. Check. If not, everything is fine. Okay. Just copy paste. Then what I can do, I can just put a filter called check. I can just go to the check. Oh, there are no items. I'm sorry. I think this is not the one. Just give me 1 minute. Because I have taken here the accounts, right? Now let me right click here instead of some, because anyway, even SA can be 0. Let me take the count for the same thing, right? For my same, right? Now let me put the check. You see how many accounts are there? The meaning is for this customer, there are 2 accounts. One is NPA, the other one is SA, and it is a check. When I have taken up this with the manager, okay, everyone please concentrate, very important topic. Very important. In fact, we have written into the report very elaborately. Where we need to write in the report, I'll tell you. Right? When we have taken this matter to the branch manager, he argued that, Mr. Saran, it may be a standard asset at the back end, but at the outstanding, if you look for this account, it is 0. So what I'll be doing, just for the understanding, let me insert one more column. Let me keep the outstanding also so that you can understand. What I'll be doing, I will take the net outstanding sum along with the count, right? Now you can just have check. Wonderful, right? I think the formula went wrong. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. This is not the one. Yeah. I have to take count and I have to take this count. Okay. If this and this both are greater than 0, check. Copy and paste. Wonderful. Now, if I go here, if I just take this check, now understand how you comment, you please let me know. I'll tell you first how I commented, how I interpreted this. For this customer, there are two accounts. One is under NPA, there is a balance. One is under the standard asset, there is no balance. In fact, the total itself is zero for all these cases. I found 25 cases. I found 25 cases. If you want, you can go back to my real file and you can check this. And where is that? 1 second. Yeah, you can just put check. I'm sure this is 25. Check it out, 25. Here also what I have done. Argued that, Saran, what is the problem with you? Anyway, it is zero. But it's not about a problem of this. In the LFR, you are going to comment upon whether the, let me go down. You are going to comment upon the IRAC automation. Yeah, check it out. Has the branch identified and classified the advances into standard, substandard, doubtful, loss assets through the computer system without manual intervention? How you can comment this? If that is wrong, if for a customer, one account is in SA, one account is in substandard, that means automatic process is not working at all. I can interpret in such a way, a branch manager can sanction something into this as a temporary OD. He can withdraw it, next day morning he can deposit because it is still SA. Your system will not trigger that it is an NPA account, right? And there is another question, is this identification and classification in line with the Reserve Bank of India? No. Whether the branch is following the system of classifying SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, whether the auditor disagrees with this and so on. These all are comments. If you want to seriously write, you should have a proper analysis. Without analysis, commenting all is a bigger problem. Okay. So in this case, though outstanding is zero, I'm not bothered about the outstanding. I'm only bothering about they are not following the system properly. It is not an automated system. There is something lapse at the back end. But unfortunately, this is for the entire UBI. And another little tricky point here. Let's say I commented something about this. The other auditor for the same bank did not comment. That means it is an adverse remark on him. Right? Especially for these type of things where common, okay, there must be a standard notes from the institute in the guidance note, at least if you are not following for this particular bank standard, this is what the comment, so that for one bank, every guy can keep it. Okay. So that is what we identified from my live file. Let us see what all other stratification I have done. A large advances is over. This is what the check I have done. This is what the stratification. Through this, I understood the branch manager function. Who are the branch manager? This is what every year-wise NPA have taken. Last year, they have taken too much NPA. And before that, less NPA. And so this gives little, the trend of NPAs. And this is what the stratification I have already told you. This is what our first priority to complete the accounts to complete, because if I do an audit of 14 accounts, almost 21% of the portfolio I'm covering. If still my staff is having a time, if I do the audit of 13 accounts, 7% of the portfolio I'm covering. And these all are the different remarks we have taken. And this is another stratification. I already covered like minimum rate and maximum rate, and based on the spread, how you can take it. And I myself calculated the provision. Then I cross-verified that what they calculated and what I calculated based on this chart are correct. Okay. So this is what my live file. Let me save this as working file. Working file on customer ID versus accounts. Yeah, I'm just stopping here, sir. Any specific question? Now we can take question and answer, maybe. If any, if members having any questions. Sir, you are on mute, Sandeep, sir. If you can keep on talk on this topic, yeah, sir.
Saranji, it was very nice listening to you in northern India, and
Thank you so much.
really the way you have shown every aspect of documentation, na, it was wonderful.
Thank you
Because
so
the
much.
most important for the auditor is to maintain the documentation, and like it's very great to maintain the even folder also in the computer. So, sir, what
Yeah.
is the next step? What you do basically after securing the folder in your computer? Do you put in the cloud or do you put on the drives,
Sir,
or
this is
how you
sir,
safeguard it?
Sir, this is already cloud, what you are finding everything. In fact, after the session, I give a link then folder to the members also. This is already the Dropbox. Okay.
Okay.
So in the Dropbox, these all are standard. If you go to any folder, the files and everything are standard. So I can just go to the bank audits and you can find it. So this is a cloud. This is very safeguarded. Okay. And staff doesn't have an access because in our office, what we do, we give only the trial access to the trial in the sense Dropbox, they can download maximum 3 GB, they can have it. So what we do, whenever it is required, we share this to folder, required folder with them. And once they are done with the work, we'll take the access back. So that at any point of time, their system is having only the folders which are required for them to work. Even I don't allow them to save anything on the desktop. Because the another great, in fact, OneDrive or Google Drive, everything is having this feature. In the Dropbox, 30 days retrieval system is there. If mistakenly, if anyone delete any folder, last 30 days, you can get the history of it and you can get it back. Yeah.
Very nice, Saranji. Sandeep ji, thank you so much for inviting Saranji. First of all, I am again and again thanking you especially because today you have taken the charge. And I really enjoyed the session because when you are auditing the branch now, like you are auditing the 1,000 crore figures, and you are actually nowhere that how will you complete the total audit in 3 or 4 days, and how you manage the documentation. So wonderful, Saranji.
Thank you so much, sir. My pleasure. In fact, connecting East Delhi CPE Study Circle. So I should thank Sandeep, sir. I should thank actually YouTube because when he was browsing, my video appeared to him. So I should also thank Microsoft Excel. I think no one in this world used Excel as a campaigning, tool. I have used it throughout my campaign as an Excel, Saran. So it has given me a lot of words also. So it's a great tool, sir.
Thank you so much, Saranji. I really thoroughly enjoy it. Not only for the purpose of bank audit, for the other purpose also, right? The way you have designed the Excel sheet, actually refine the processes, right? And the best part, what I have seen in your presentation, you have connected your whole presentation through LFAR, right? You have seen and you have shown how to create samples, how to create stratification, and how to document those things, right? Those are the best part of your presentation. And the way you have deal with the critical files, especially your files we used to get it from banks, right? The matlab, if you say, ask me, to people used to spend number of days on doing our means arranging those files and taking the required output from those files, right, to further plan the audits. But the way you ask us is really uh, it's wonderful, and I believe this presentation is going to watch again. People are going to watch this presentation again and again, and Sharanji, I am going to disturb you again and again for so many topics now related to Excel sheet, right? It may be for a forensic account, maybe from working paper, how to manage digitally working paper and all, right? Because I don't know, but whenever I have seen for the last
I'm always
1.
there. I'm always there for you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Saranji. And I would also like to thank participants. Thank you so much for your queries and for your participation. A big thanks. I think Sasankji is there. In absentia, Sasankji. And apart, hello,
Sorry,
Sasankji.
sorry,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you so much, Shashankji, for joining and asking so
My
many
pleasure.
important and critical questions, right? And a big thank you to our founder convener, Dr. C. Durgadas Agrawal ji, in absentia. It was really a wonderful session. Once again, Saranji, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Sir. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Friends, now we have last session of this financial year, last webinar on 29th of March. That will be on GST, invoicing and critical issues. Our timing will be same, 4 to 6. Please join us. Till then, it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you so much. Thanks.
सारन जी से थोड़े और सेशंस करवाइएगा प्लीज.
Yeah, please.
Sir.
I have already requested Saranji. I'm going to ask
Always,
you
sir.
again and again. Thanks a lot, Saranji.
Always, sir.
Thank you.
Always, sir.
Thank you,
so
Saran ji,
much.
and congratulations
Thank
for your selecting in the branch.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll take your number and for the guidance, since you served as a chairman of the region, so you are the right person to guide. I may disturb you also, please.
No, my pleasure, sir. Anytime.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.